My mom broke my nose in a Target parking lot because I wouldn't give my sister a Stanley cup. I was 17 and had been saving up for months to buy one of those expensive Stanley tumblers. You know the ones, 40 ounces, keeps drinks cold for like 24 hours, comes in every color. My sister Brittany had the same one in pink that mom bought her for Christmas. But Brittany saw mine in this limited edition lavender color at Target and decided she wanted it. We were walking to the car after I just paid for it with my own money from my part-time job at the movie theater. I'd worked 30 hours over 2 weeks just to afford this stupid cup. Brittany was 14 and had never worked a day in her life. Everything she owned, mom and dad bought for her. She grabbed the Target bag out of my hand and pulled out the Stanley. "This is so pretty," she said. "I want this one instead of my pink one." I laughed because I thought she was joking. "That's mine, Britt. I just bought it with my own money." But she didn't give it back. She held it close to her chest and said mom would buy me a different one. I told her no, that I'd been wanting the specific color for 2 months and it was finally back in stock. Mom was loading groceries into the trunk and overheard us. She turned around and said, "Just let your sister have it. I'll get you another one next week." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This wasn't a toy or a cheap item. It was $45 that I earned myself. I said no, I worked for this and I'm keeping it. Brittany's face turned red and she started crying, those fake tears she always did when she didn't get her way. "Mom, she won't share with me. She's being selfish." Mom slammed the trunk closed and walked over to us. Her voice got that dangerous, quiet tone she used when she was really mad. "Give your sister the cup. You can buy another one." I stood my ground. No, I'm not giving her something I paid for just because she wants it. She already has one at home. That's when Brittany threw herself on the ground in the middle of the parking lot like a toddler having a meltdown. People were staring at us. A woman with a shopping cart actually stopped to watch. Mom's face went bright red. She grabbed my arm hard enough to leave marks and hissed at me to stop embarrassing the family. I pulled my arm away and said I wasn't the one throwing a fit over a water bottle. Brittany was still on the ground wailing about how I never shared anything with her and how I was the worst sister ever. Complete lies. I'd given her half my closet, let her use my laptop, even gave her my old phone when I upgraded. But none of that mattered to mom. She snatched the Stanley out of my hands and gave it to Brittany. "They're happy now?" she said to my sister. Brittany stopped crying immediately, stood up, and smiled. I lost it. I grabbed the cup back from Brittany and said this was insane. I was keeping what I paid for. Mom's hand came out of nowhere. She shoved me backwards and I stumbled into our car. Then she grabbed the cup from me again, and when I reached for it one more time, she swung her purse at my face. Her purse had this heavy metal clasp on it and it connected directly with my nose. I heard the crunch before I felt the pain. Blood started pouring down my face immediately, all over my shirt and onto the pavement. I couldn't breathe through my nose and my eyes were watering so bad I could barely see. The woman who'd been watching us screamed and ran over asking if I was okay. Mom just stood there holding the Stanley cup looking shocked. Brittany had gone completely silent. Someone called 911 and paramedics showed up within 10 minutes. My nose was definitely broken. They had to reset it right there in the parking lot and it was the worst pain I'd ever felt in my life. The paramedic asked what happened and I told him the truth. My mom hit me with her purse over a water bottle. He looked at mom like she was crazy. Target security had to get involved because it happened on their property. They pulled the parking lot camera footage which showed everything. Mom trying to grab the cup, shoving me, then swinging her purse at my face. The cops showed up and asked if I wanted to press charges. Mom started begging me not to, saying it was an accident and she didn't mean to hit me that hard. But it wasn't an accident. She meant to hit me. She just didn't think she'd break my nose. I was so angry and hurt that I said yes, press charges. They arrested my mom right there in the Target parking lot while Brittany cried in the back seat. Dad had to leave work early to come get us from the police station. When he found out what happened, he didn't defend mom. He actually looked at Brittany and said, "This is your fault too for acting like a brat." Mom got charged with assault. She had to do community service and take anger management classes. She also had to pay my medical bills, which were over $2,000. Brittany never apologized. She kept a lavender Stanley cup and I never got another one. But I moved out the day I turned 18 and I haven't spent a holiday with them since.